Hello, one and all. It's my view of My Hero Academia, Chapter 310, Masters and Pupil. And we open up this chapter with a title page that literally looks like it came off the cover of a freaking comic book. I mean, seriously, just the attention to detail over here just really shows what a fan of American comics Horikoshi really is. In fact, I think the discrimination we see in this chapter can even be considered a reference to X-Men. Especially because this type of quirk user this girl is referred to by the wiki as a mutant. I'm not exactly sure where that term comes from, especially because throughout the manga they've only been referred to as heromorphic, but mutant, that's straight up X-Men right there. And this does actually make me wonder how big a deal discrimination like this is in the My Hero Academia, world. I mean, it was said by Spinner that part of the reason why he joined the League was because he was discriminated against because of his lizard-like appearance his entire life, and so he wanted to join the place where he could belong, a place where he felt like he could, fit in. I mean, part of the Middle Ration Army's entire philosophy was about not discriminating against people based on how they look. That's why Redestro's entire company was focused around helping people like that by making clothes, building accessories, whatever they needed to live their most normal life possible. And even if you look at the pro heroes, there's definitely some discrimination in the ranking. I mean, look at the top 10 heroes. Besides the washing machine, only Mirko and Hawks can really be considered mutants. And they both look far, far more human than this girl does. So, yeah, there's definitely some discrimination going on in this world that hasn't been really focused on, but it's clearly been there since the very beginning, which is interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm hoping to see this series focus a little bit more about that moving forward. So, curious. But anyway, Deku managed to convince the guys that she is in fact not a threat and just a scared little girl who is looking for some shelter, which, oh god, that is so, so heartbreaking. And I just freaking love seeing Deku using his float quirk to fly up to her and give her an umbrella like that. Oh my god, that was adorable. That was so freaking adorable. I'm also loving how he's using his quirk more and more. I mean, it seems like he's gotten so comfortable with the float quirk that he's using it in like every scene. Even after he walks away from her, he uses the float to backstep away. That's really cool. And then this line, oh my god, this line. I wonder if he'll ever go back to normal. I'll make it so. Oh my god, that Deku right there, that Deku moment. Him just saying, don't worry, I will fix this world single-handedly by myself. Oh, no you won't, Deku, no you won't. You're gonna need a lot of help from a lot of your friends, a lot of pro heroes if you want to get that done. And then All Might shows up with a freaking Batmobile to lend her a helping hand. And I just love this line. She says, All Might? Huh? She's just so utterly confused about why All Might is there to lend her a helping hand in the middle of this thunderstorm. Oh, I love that. I freaking love that. And I also do just love All Might giving Deku a midnight snack to help keep his spirits up. Oh, that was so cute. Because the next page, we have Deku. Cheerful, happy, huge fan of All Might Deku with this big smile on his face, and we can't see the smile, but we can feel it with how his eyes look. And how excited he is for his hero to be giving him a midnight snack. And then we scroll down and we see him standing broodingly on top of a tower looking at the entire world as it's drenched in a thunderstorm. Oh god, I just love that. I just freaking love the dichotomy of that shot right there. And then finally we address the second and third user of One for All. And there have been a lot of theories going around for quite a while. I mean, my personal theory was that they were Bakugo who was sent backwards in time, and maybe Shoto as well. No, that wasn't the case. Another big theory was they were actually villains. They're working for All for One back in the day, and that's why they're too ashamed to face Deku. No, they are in fact heroes, true heroes. They are the heroes of the first user. Oh, I love that. I freaking love it. But, then when the first user tries to call out to them, it gets really, really awkward. So Banjo body slams himself into Deku to try and cut the tension, which, oh, such a Banjo thing to do. But anyway, we finally get their backstory. Essentially, they were leaders in the revolution. They were the ones who fought against All for One all those decades ago when he basically ruled all of Japan. I have so many questions about their backstory. Seriously, I want an entire spin-off series just focused on this battle against All for One that was taking place in the shadows of Japan. So many questions. And the reason why the first user referred to them as his heroes is because they freed him from the vault, freed him from the room that All for One kept him locked up in for years and years and years. And that's how he was able to basically start the war against his brother. And he was able to pass on the power to other people as well. I mean, that's always been a big question. How exactly did he free himself from the vault? He didn't. They freed him. The second and third user did. And, in that moment they decided not to murder him, which, thank God, or else this thing would have gone very, very differently. I do love the line here. That moment you reached your hand out to me was when One for All was truly born. Oh, I love it. I freaking love that line. So essentially, them freeing him, them being his heroes, are how One for All became the power of a hero. Also, something else really interesting I didn't notice when I first read this chapter. We've been seeing this door in the back of this weird floating room for a very long time now. Haven't really understood what it was until now. This room is essentially symbolic of the room where the first user was kept by his brother for all those years, and that door essentially leads to the outside world. That's a really cool detail. I like that. And speaking of detail, it's also worth noting that when the second user freed the first from his prison cell, he did not yet have a scar on his face and looked considerably younger than he does now in the quirk realm. So what exactly happened to the second user, the third user, in this war they fought against All For One? I mean, seriously, All For One didn't actually lose until his battle against All Might years and years later, and yet something happened between the point where the first user was freed and the point where All Might and him fought that caused All For One to lose a lot of the control he had over Japan. So clearly the second and third user were at least somewhat successful in managing to stop him. So very, very curious about that. I mean, like I said, I need a whole flashback, a whole spin-off series just to explain this properly. Oh yeah, also, what exactly is the second and third user's quirk? Because we can very clearly see some sort of gun strapped to his arm in the one shot. So what exactly is up with that? Does he have the ability to like shoot laser beams from his hands or something like that, and the guns are able to amplify it or focus it somehow? Or are the gauntlets, just weapons on their own that have nothing to do with his quirk? Because a projectile firing quirk, that would make quite a bit of sense for Deku. I mean, he does have the black whips and that, finger flicking thing, but something that actually fire a projectile at an enemy that's far away, that would definitely be helpful right about now. And it's really one of the very few quirks I can imagine being added to his arsenal of tools at this point. But yeah, let me know else down below. What do you think is going to happen next? I mean, I'm with the line. Things are bound to move more quickly from here on out, which very, very ominous. I mean, is Shigaraki going to attack Deku next chapter? I mean, it seems so very, very unlikely. What I think is more possible, what I think is more likely to happen, is that Deku is going to find out Shigaraki's whereabouts over the next couple chapters and go after him. But by that point, he'll team back up with his classmates, some of the pro heroes, and will basically do, one of those evil demon lore kind of things where Deku first comes across Toga and then Uraraka stays behind to fight her. And then he's going to come across Dabi and Choto's going to stay behind to fight him, and so on and so forth until it's probably just him and Bakugo fighting against Shigaraki, fighting against the big bad all by themselves. Very excited for that. Very, very excited for that. And hopefully by then he's mastered the second and third user's quirk. I mean, what exactly do you think they are? Like I said, it definitely seems like it might be associated with that weapon gauntlet beam thing he has in his arms, but I'm not sure about that. And what do you think about the discrimination against non-humans in the series? Very, very curious about that, but let me think all this down below. Be sure to like, subscribe to this video, and until then, peace!